Hello, I'm your girl Michelle Hope Walker. Welcome. So today we're going to talk about Daniel 3. If you follow me on Instagram, which is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks, I've talked about and made reference to Daniel 3. And in reference to in Daniel 3 on how pretty much Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego literally almost lost their life because they would not bow down to what the king and the people of that day wanted them to bow down to. They trusted in God, and it's like, no, I'm not going to serve that. And that's why I say, so we have to watch making these things in our society, in our world, little gods, because they're not a God. They might be something we like, there's nothing wrong with it, God, Jesus Christ, doesn't mind us liking stuff. Matter of fact, God will bless us with opportunities to do different things that we like to do. I like to work in the entertainment industry and do different things, so God always has blessed me, I like to support people, and cheer people on, it's a lot of things, that God would just, open the doors and bless you with. So I'm not saying, you can't fund, but what I'm saying is that we have to watch it, that we don't start praising people like they are God. And when it comes push to shove, the people are trying to make us bow down to something that we know is not right. We have to wake up. We have to wake up. A lot of us are woke, I know, but we're going to have to, the morning to wake up, because they're not a God. Don't let nobody make you do something that you know you don't believe in, but now you feel like that you need to do it to win. No, you don't. That's another thing I've talked about on my Instagram, is that you do not have to sin to win. The devil is a lie. Don't let the devil play with your mind like that. No, the devil is a lie. And watch who you listening to. Watch who you giving your ear to. Especially if they don't know God. If they don't know God, they don't have no relationship with God, Jesus Christ, God. I mean, don't know, God can speak to anybody, but I'm just saying, if what they're saying does not confirm or line up with what God has told you, be careful and watch it. Now, like today's video, so today is Saturday, and it is July 8th, 2017. Okay, so Saturday, July 8th, 2017. Okay, so the Bible, Daniel, the book of Daniel, which is in the Old Testament of the Bible. And so it's just really interesting on how, I'm telling you, it's a good read. Make sure you read. And you all know I just like to do with these YouTube videos less than 30 minutes. So I don't know how much this is going to get done. So you just have to follow along on YouTube on what part is what. Because then I don't know, I don't really want to rush totally through it either. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so let's look at Daniel 3. Daniel chapter 3 in the Bible. Daniel is in the New Testament. Okay, so it says, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold whose height was 80 cubits and breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Oh, my Lord, this reminds me of some events that I've been to. People that made things, or, they believe in a thing, and, they calling us all to honor it, and we take our time out to go do it. And again, it's good because we want to support people, type thing. But he made an image. So he was about to have people bow down to a literal image, like a sculpture or something, type thing. And he called everybody to come. Now look at who he called. Look at who he called. So in our society today, we would say celebrities, famous people, said the governors, the captains, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriff, these type people, who quote unquote sometimes our society looks at that are better than other people, which that's wrong, because nobody's better than the next person. Make sure I put that out there, because everybody's valuable, equally valuable. I don't care how much money and fame you got, we all equally valuable. So he called these type of people, or, whoever you would think right now in your mind, quote unquote, mainstream society, celebrity, or whoever, type people would be that they would invite and have there. Okay, so now we're at Daniel 3:3. So Daniel chapter 3, verse 3. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So they were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So they were invited, they got an invitation to come. And then they stood there, meaning they went, and stood there before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So let's stop there for a moment. Just because somebody invites you to something, don't mean you gotta go. That's something I'm feeling right there. Because sometimes people invite us to stuff and we're like, oh, but wow, they're such and such and they invited me. And, but if you know some stuff is going to be going on there, some something, then your spirit don't probably need to be around. Or maybe you'll say you've been delivered or some stuff and the same stuff that tempts you is going to be right there. Or you already know they're going to try to have you bow down to some stuff. So let's see. I know Prodigy mentioned some of his videos where he was talking about these Illuminati balls, these secret society mansion balls or type things. And other people have mentioned about what goes on at these parties. Cat sometimes mentions, things that he's passed by rooms and seen, allegedly, and different things seen. And so it's like, so we have to watch these things that we get invited to. You got to pray. God, is this something you want me to go into? Don't get me wrong. As Christians, we everywhere. We everywhere. We're just not in the church working. We're in Hollywood working. We're in the entertainment industry working. We're everywhere. We're in sports work. We're everywhere. So that's why I just say stay prayed up. Because then some people are like, well, I don't think they should be in there. And they shouldn't be doing this and that. But see, you don't know what God has called them. You never know. God may have them to actually be there for a reason. Something may happen and that person need to pull up and be the one to pray over everybody. Never know. So it's doing what you feel God leading you to do. Now, if God called you not to be in certain arenas or do something, don't go doing it because you see Sister such and such in it and it's like she doing good and okay. Because maybe God called Sister such and such to be up in there doing what she do. But if God has not called you to be up in there, or you're not spiritually strong enough at that time to be around certain things without falling for the temptations, then you don't need to do that. That's what I say. Watch trying to do what somebody else do. Just do you. Do you and do what God has called and told you to do. But, I just think that's interesting on how that is pointed out. Where it said that, they were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And then the next sentence is like, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. When God gets to repeating stuff, there's something in there. So they were invited to this thing. They were gathered. And then they stood almost like they're saying, and so as they were gathered, Nebuchadnezzar was telling them to bow down to this, or they stood before, they were like bound down to it. Because Nebuchadnezzar was king. Because Nebuchadnezzar was who he was. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some of the audience would be like, I don't even like this thing. What is this that he got us looking at? You know how we do. We'd be gathered like, what in the world? But because it was Nebuchadnezzar, and he was the king, and they had been summoned to come, or invited to come. We like to get dressed up. Well, no such is going to be there. Let me get dressed up so I can go. Everybody going to be there, type thing. So, we get dressed, get geared, and go there, But again, stepping back, watch, for some of you all saying, watch where you go. Just because you get invited don't mean you supposed to go. So that's a word for somebody that's been trying to figure out, especially if you already feel and you already know, because God has a discerning spirit with us. God will reveal things and show us things. So if you ever about to go somewhere or you are somewhere and God's like, leave now, leave. Don't be sitting there trying to ration it out. God could be trying to save you. When we think about 9/11, on how many people, were about to get on a plane, but they missed their plane or something happened, how relieved I'm sure they were once they seen what had happened, that whatever happened for why they were not, didn't make that plane. And that was a sad thing, 9/11. But I'm just saying, hear the Holy Spirit. Hear when God is talking to you. And there's been testimonies. You watch some stuff on 9/11, you hear the testimonies. Some people it was just something going on where either they were told not to go, or they they missed the plane, or just something. That's how God is. God is always working in our best interest. God loves us. God is never trying to bring harm to us. God loves us. And a lot of times people are like, well, why did God know? God didn't. You did that to yourself. No. Because you were hard-headed and you didn't listen and you didn't do what God was telling you to do, because he was telling you don't deal with that person, but you still wanted to rationalize it and try to figure out still why you should deal with this person when God has already he read their mail to you early on that someone right with this person, but you still gonna do you. I remember when we doing us, we'll make sure we doing us through God and what God is telling us to do. So, anyway, just because you're invited don't mean you have to go. Especially if you feel led not to go. Don't go. Then, so now we're at verse 4. Then a herald cried aloud. That's a person that usually was ones that would announce certain things. Like when the president's about to give the state address of our country, what's it called? The state of address, something like that. They would say, now the president of the United States, you know what I'm saying? So that type of person So then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, the word music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. Okay? So that's what we got to watch music. We putting some subliminal messages in the music. Or I know they put it in the films, but they be putting it in the music. It says right in the music. So they were going to play some music and they wanted people to fall down and worship this golden image that Nebuchadnezzar have set up. And I'm noticing this actually for the first time, actually. They kept saying over and over who set it up. That Nebuchadnezzar said, so God, Jesus Christ didn't set this up. Nebuchadnezzar, a man, set this up and wanted people to bow down to it. And the music. It says when you hear the music, fall down and worship. When you hear the music. That's why we have to watch what music we listening to. Let's keep it real. I remember growing up, first of all, I grew up pretty much in a Christian home. Christian, family Christian. I know even as I got older, I got to the point that I wouldn't listen to no music but Christian music. I mean, it's still now, I tend to pretty much just listen to Christian music now because I do comedy and different things. I'm out and about and, in the entertainment industry, so I'm supporting certain artists, different things like that. So I'm hearing different kinds of music. But I'm not, I may be about and hearing it while I'm out working or doing things, but I'm not about to go buy it. Because to me, when you actually purchase something, download the purchase, or however you're going to do the purchase now, because it's no more really buying the records and the the CDs. Although I will buy some CDs back fine, but a lot of stuff is like downloaded or different things like that. That's deep. You really like that. You're putting your money into this. So I'm like, I'm very cautious on what I'm putting my money into. They talking about some stuff that I'm like, I don't want to be constantly hearing that over and over in my head. You know what I'm saying? So we have to watch what kind of music we're listening to. And that's where you've been following me. I've been talking about the Jay-Z 4/4 because it just seems like a lot of his songs is just disrespecting people, belittling people. And I'm just like, I can't agree with that. No, I don't know. I don't condone. No. I mean, do I want to listen to someone who has their share of challenges as well, who condemn other people that have challenges? I mean, we all have challenges. I don't know, I just love all people. So I'm just sort of, I like to see people grow and be happy. So, I don't like hearing other people talk bad about other people. I don't care who you are, how much money you have or don't have. I'm just always like, what pleasure are you getting out of belittling or putting this person down or trying to hurt this person with your words? Let's use our words to motivate people and encourage people, not to make people feel bad. So again, it talked about, when you hear the music, fall down to worship. That's what I say, you have to watch what you listening to and watch who you worshiping. And that's why with this Jay-Z thing, I'm like, hold up, y'all, Jay-Z is not God. He may call himself God, but he is not God. He's not Jesus Christ God. And Jay-Z need to watch calling himself God. But don't get me wrong. Remember one time Creflo Dollar he showed us something in the Bible one time that, as we worship and serve God, Jesus Christ, that, we are maybe his, little G guys. I don't know, some of them sort of like that. But, I mean, just on regular, ordinary, in a sense, conversation, God is God, one God, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because, you have to give a Creflo Dollar a little bit more on what he's talking about and what he was referencing that. But I'm like, people have to watch, And again, I am not hating on Jay-Z. Because I love people. I want to see Jay-Z grow and Jay-Z grow and everything. I mean, just be blessed. My thing is just, I don't have a problem people being blessed on hurting other people, on belittling and putting other people down. Because I'm just like, it's so many other good people then that could utilize and have that blessing. They would do good with it versus using it to hurt people or belittle other people. So anyway, watch the music. Okay, so now we're still in Daniel chapter 3. Now we're moving on to verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall that the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Oh, wow. So if you don't bow down when the music play, meaning if you don't go along with the beat, if you don't go along with worshiping this thing that Nebuchadnezzar is setting up in our society, we can apply this to today. Our society is setting up and they're telling you this person is beautiful, this is popular, this is the in thing to do, this is what you shouldn't do. This, society. And a lot of times none of their stuff is right on what they say. At least not under in God's eyes, not. And then if you don't bow down to it, then they try to label you negatively, mistreat you, say something wrong with you because you don't want to fall in line with what they want you to fall in line with or bow down to what, So literally, they're going to kill people if they didn't bow down to this. Well, that right there should let you know there's something not good. Because if it's something good and wholesome, usually people don't have a problem with bow down to it. And then also if it's good and wholesome, the mindset too is like, well, we're offering you a good thing. If you don't want it, that's your choice. Think about it. Usually when there's some forced stuff, usually people are trying to force us to get us to do something that is not good. Because they know they got to force us to try to get us to do it. Because ordinarily we would not do it because it's not a good thing to do or say. So, interesting so far, huh? Very interesting. We got Nebuchadnezzar setting up this image, saying people got to bow down to it. They're going to play some music, and people need to be bowing down once they hear that music. And if they don't, they're going to die. Wow. But we can look at the same thing going on in our society. Same thing going on in our society. Sometimes, when I talk to homeless people or just people in different challenging situations, a lot of them are very smart. In the sense that, they see our, especially American capitalistic type society, and that there's a certain game they want you to play, whether it's right or wrong. They want you to play it because actually they pass laws to make wrong be right. People, like Bernie talked a lot about too. They want to jail the person that has marijuana on them. But what about these people that are in political positions that are supposed to be working on behalf of the people, and they're not? They're letting these companies and millionaires, billionaires pay them off to literally work for them, and they ain't thinking about us, people, until it's election time. Then they come back around and say, oh, I did this and I did that. But then, in reality, they only did it because their donors, the people who paying for their campaign, wanted them to do it. So again, they still weren't really looking out for us. They should be in jail. That's wrong. Because you're trying to trick the public. You don't really care about the public. You're just lying to stay in power and in control. And it's not right, so... some people just clocked out because they didn't want to play their game. Lauryn Hill talks about that a little bit. And oh my gosh, I have so much respect for Lauryn Hill because she was just like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And when she decided that she was not going to do this, they went after her. That she literally talks about she had to go off the grid. I'm like, how do you even go off the grid? I'm like, much respect to the name of Lauryn Hill. Teach me, Lauren, how do you go off the grid? Because they are tracking us with everything from these phones to computers to everything, they're trying to force you to do everything online. So they can be constantly, gathering information, on us, on everything that we do, where we are. They got cameras everywhere. I'm like, how did you go off the grid? But, just smart, So again, if you don't bow down sometimes to society and what they want you to do, then they try to name call you, try to call you crazy. Or they try to say you different, but they don't mean it in a positive way. They try to say, So, this is what was going on. Let's see, maybe we got time to read another verse. Let's see where we're at. So let's go to 7. Daniel 3:7. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So they just fell down. They just did it, And that's what we find these days. Some people don't even think twice. They just like, well, this is what they told us we're supposed to do. And they just go do it. Walter Richardson. I was doing a lot of stuff for Los Angeles School Board. I also ran for school board. One thing he used to always say, and I don't know, he may have got it from somewhere else, but out of 100%, when we talk about people, out of 100% of people, 80% of people just follow and do whatever that Illuminati, secret society, mainstream tell them to do. They don't even think twice about it. And well, this is what they told us to do. And they just go do it. 20% of us will stop and think and be like, wait a minute, why? Why are we doing this? This don't make sense. We think and research and be like, well, no, there's a better way to do this. And even that 20% may still go ahead and do, what mainstream or whatever is telling them to do. But at least, they know this is a bunch of bull crap. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Which it could have been in this time. And people was like, I don't even like this statue. I don't know why he got us bound down to it, but whatever. I don't want to die, so let me bow. Basically, that's what it came down to. I don't want to die because he already threatened to kill them if they did not bow down. And right now in our society, you have where people feel like they're put in those situations. That people are giving them ultimatums. Hey, you have to do this, or else I'm going to take your livelihood from you. People blackmail people. Just all kind of different stuff to try to get them to do what they want them to do. And it's wrong. But, if someone is blackmailing you, ever been blackmailed, or somebody trying to say, well, I'm going to tell this on you if you do this, or I'm going to, just, I don't know, whatever way they, maybe trying to get you to do wrong on something. You pray. You do what God told you to do. God knows we're not perfect. So whatever it is, you ask God to forgive you. If it comes out, well, it comes out, and you keep it moving. Because really, can't nobody throw no mud at you because everybody got something. Some of these people get me, try to act like they're just so perfect and they don't have to. You lying. You are lying. Don't get me wrong. As we walk with God and do what God called us to do, we may not be doing some outlandish type stuff, but then again, sin is sin, So it's like, And it's even a sin if you're not doing what God told you to do. So you may be doing, I had to learn this, so you can be doing a lot of good things. But if you're doing something God didn't tell you to do, then you out of line. You're sinning because God didn't tell you to do that, no matter how good and wholesome of a thing it is. God is telling you to do this, and you keep trying to go and do that. And God's like, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. I know it looks good, and people are giving you all these pat on the backs for it, but that is not what I told you to do. But they're too scared to step out and do what God actually told them to do because they don't know how people are going to receive them on that one. But you can't worry about people. You got to do what God told you to do. Forget people. You better do what God told you. God has the last say on everything. That's why I said when you hear me talk about the Illuminati and secret society, but God is in control. They think they're getting away with some stuff, but they're really not. And they are not in control. God is in control. Okay, so we're stopping at, we just stopped at 7. So far we've done Daniel chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. And it's really about to get good. It's really about to get good. So you're going to need to make sure you see this next video. We're going to pick up at Daniel chapter 3, verse 8. All right. So God bless you all. And like I said, don't bow down to things that God didn't call you to bow down to. Just don't. Okay, let me give you my information. Social media stuff. Let me see. Instagram is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. Twitter is @Hope_speaks. Facebook is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks, listen. YouTube is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. Email is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks @yahoo.com. Phone number is 323-338-6580. So be blessed in this. And study Daniel 3. Read it. You might gather some stuff on your own, Let me know your thoughts and revelations that you got from even so far what we've read. And so far we've read, like I said, Daniel 3, 1 through 7. Where Nebuchadnezzar set it up. So some man is set up and trying to get everybody to bow down to. And then threaten to kill him. So then you got majority of people bow down to because they didn't want to die. And I mean, what can we say? Can we really get on them? Because that is a hard thing to deal with. If I don't, some people might be like, okay, God, me and you good. I don't believe in this image, but I'm going to go and bow down because I don't want to die. I'm gonna be like, what I'm saying? I know people made, peace with God on doing what they was doing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But, to each his own. You just have to stay prayed up, do whatever God called and told you to do. So maybe God didn't call everybody to stand up, but we're going to have some that we're going to see in Daniel 3 that's going to stand up. And some like, no, I'm not going to bow down to your God. I'm not about to do it. I don't care. You threaten to kill me, whatever. I'm not about to do it. All right. So stay tuned. I'm Michelle Hope Walker. And we've been talking about Daniel 3. God bless. Stay tuned.